So I said I would run over the code, but I really won't because it's not important right now. The code is not important for the web server because what's important is for us to actually install Angular, and we're going to use the Angular CLI. But notice what it says right here. So you've installed Node.js and NPM now. Now the next step is for you to install the Angular CLI. Now that's Angular command line interface. So you're going to write more commands in the command prompt. Get used to it. It's worth it. It's worth learning. When you start doing this, you get more and more used to it. You can start doing the same for Git. And yes, you can start using Git in the command prompt, and you'll be such a happy developer in the end. So I'm just encouraging you to start doing that. And next step, try to use npm install, and then put this in to actually install Angular CLI command line interface with a -g. And now the -g right here, or this guy right here, actually means that we're going to install it globally. So for all projects I'm going to build in the future, I now have Angular CLI available on Node.js. All projects. Where in the last lesson that I showed you guys, I installed the HTTP. That was actually only for the current project, and it wasn't even for the current project. It was just for the solution I just showed you. That was all it was. So now this guy, we're going to say to the system, install Angular CLI, the command line interface, for everybody, every project on this machine right here. So I'm going into WebStorm again, and I'm going to run the command. And notice npm install -g for globally, for all projects, and then this is just the name of a package. Now Angular just decided to put the @ in front of it. It's just the name of a package. So I'll do an enter here, and it'll start installing a lot of greatness into our project right here. So it's the same for the Mac. You might have to press a few, yes, I'm ready, keep going, blah, 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 but it's the same thing. Let it install and I'll get back to you. So after a little while, it takes a couple of minutes or something, you should see something like this. It's a huge list of information and we really don't care about it. The most important part here is actually all these dependencies have now been installed on your machine. So just like I talked about, I just installed one HTTP dependency, right? You guys just got all these dependencies on your machine to actually be able to work with the Angular CLI for us to make simple web applications with Angular. So let's we don't have to understand all of these. It's just other people built them for us. Angular team built a lot of it for us, and we're just going to use it, right? So you also have probably some optional here, a warning that's skipping some dependencies, that's optional. If it says optional and not an error, it's not a problem. So there we go. Now we actually have our first installation of the Angular CLI. I just did it on the Mac as well, and here we go, the same idea, did exactly the same thing, and you also have that installed. The most important thing is to remember the -g here, because we want to do it globally. So next lesson, let's try and actually create our first Angular project. See you next time.